Hi, this is Micornus Phokane, the leader and the founder of Church Governance Solutions. I just want to speak about the importance of pastors' forums, the importance of pastors' forums. And I know that there are many forums in different places whereby pastors gather together and basically discuss the issues of doctrine around their own location. And this is a platform that is very, very important. And I want to speak about just the importance of that forum because it is very, very important forum. And I've seen many forums that are being established in different locations and which are wonderful networks which are making pastors to communicate together. And especially in the days that we're living in, whereby they are even on online platform. There are forums that are actually set up on online platform where pastors are having meetings online, and some would actually meet even face to face and for the issues of doctrine around their own location. And I want to speak about the importance, therefore, of pastors' forums. The first thing that I want to bring about as a very important aspect of pastors' forums is it provides a platform to network with people of the same beliefs. It makes you as brethren, as pastors who believe in the same gospel, to network together and also to be able to know the people around your place or churches around your place, leaders that God called around your place as well. You are able to network, and in the very same note, when you have networked with people like that, you know exactly that even next time when you go to your own conference, you are knowing people around your place that you could actually send an invitation to and within the congregations around. So that becomes very important, that you know the people around you, you know people that can work together. Remember, the work of God is not an individual work. It's not for pastors. It is actually the work of God, of course, as we say so. But then as we work the work of God, we should be able to collaborate and work together. And that is the reason why it's a platform of network with people of the same beliefs. So you would actually network together, you would know each other as pastors within the same vicinity. And you would actually exchange numbers in order to be able to help each other when you need to help each other. Now, the second thing is it is a platform for assisting developing ministers. Remember, there are some ministers that are very young in faith, and some of them just started their churches as well just recently. And this is very important platform whereby those pastors or young ministers that have just started their ministries, they are introduced to a forum like Pastors Forum, which is very important actually to continue the networking that we spoke about earlier, that you network with them in order to identify where they can be helped, where they can be assisted as well. And also the young ministers are able actually to identify those matured fathers and mothers around the area, where the pastors that have been there for a long time, those that are matured, those that can be able to assist them when they need assistance in issues of ministry. Remember that ministry is not as easy as one would say, I know everything about it. You need to crawl like a child. You need to start learning to walk as a young minister. Even before you get to a point where you will be able to run a ministry on your own, you need others that have been there to assist you to mature in that line. So therefore, it is very important platform for the young ministers here, because they would actually be able to network with the older ministers that have been there for quite a long time. So therefore, those young ministers can find a platform of developing. And because in this regard, you will realize that ministers' forums or pastors' forums have got a lot of activities that they're running. And most of those platforms, they are able actually to expose those young ministers to be able to learn the ropes and be able to do things on their own after learning from this kind of platform. Pastors' forums are very important. They are very important because it's a learning platform as well from each other. Remember, as I said, that our gifts are not the same. Of course, our callings are not the same as well. And also you'll realize that many churches operate differently based on their vision or the experience of the minister who is actually leading a specific church. And some of the ministers or pastors are very good in church governance, and others are very good in administration of churches. While others are good in preaching, and their sermons, arrangement of their sermons, how they do, and all those aspects that we're speaking about, including that some would be very good in evangelism. And they would have strategies in their own churches that they are using for evangelism, where they are using them for reaching out to the souls out there. And some of the pastors would be very good in structural Sunday school programs, whereby they are able to have a syllabus whereby they can actually teach young people or children and develop them into the knowledge of Christ. And some are good in that. And while you're having all these gifts together, you're having all these talents and gifts and callings amongst the people, it is therefore a platform in Pastors Forum to learn from each other. Because from that which you know as a pastor, if I don't have the skill for that, I don't have a gift for that, I would actually find it handy to learn from you, and you may learn from me as well other things. And that is why Pastors Forums then becomes very, very important. Pastors Forums are very important also to provide a platform for good counsel. Remember that in this regard, you are now with ministers, your own peers, the people that know the difficulty of ministry, the people that have been there, and some of them have actually walked this path. So there are some challenges in ministries, and I'm sure some of you would have experienced a lot of challenges, and you would know that ministry is not an easy path. There are challenges, and because of those challenges, then this is a platform to be able to help each other, to be able to give each other a good counsel, advices about ministry, and also how to handle certain issues in the ministry. There are a lot of challenges that not every one of us would actually know how to handle them. But of course, our different experiences on a church, on a pastor's forum, would actually be shared amongst each other, and therefore it will help each and every one of us to learn out of that and become better every day. So therefore, pastors' forums becomes very important as a learning platform. It's also very important also as a place where we get counsel from others. And I want to emphasize the fact that those that have been in the past before, and they should be a standard of learning for those that are still coming. Because the challenges that others have faced, they knew how, or they know how they've conquered them. So you don't have to face the same challenges the same way. Because you can learn and be counseled by those that have been in the path for a long way. And of course, they've learned a lot from their experiences. They can be able to give you a good counsel. So Pastors Forum then will be a platform for good counsel. It is also a very important platform to promote unity amongst people of the same faith, in the same area, in the same vicinity and location. So this is very important, because what it does when you got pastors' forums, what it is going to do, it is actually going to unite the pastors. And as pastors, when they get united, their congregants become united as well. And I want to emphasize that most of the time, we find that the divisions that are among Christians, they're starting from the head. They're starting from the leaders themselves. When they are divided, the pastors are divided, they don't agree on anything, then therefore it establishes actually an enmity amongst their own members as well. Enmity amongst the congregants. Because if their own fathers, mothers who are leaders in their faith are not actually on the same pathway, they don't agree on things, and they are divided amongst themselves, what will happen is the congregants will be divided as well. So this is a platform of unity, because as pastors then, pastors need to formulate a platform of unity, where they will be united themselves amongst each other and be able to support each other in what they are doing. Now, this is very important. But also, pastors' forums, they promote Christian stability by preventing what we call church hopping spirit. Church hopping spirit. Because church hopping spirit is whereby Christians, by small offenses, they move from one church to another. And some is not because they've been offended, it's just because they just want to test the menu from all over the place. And therefore they cannot commit because they move from one church to another. And which is a tendency that we see, especially in the days that we're living in. But pastors' forums then become a remedy in a way of this spirit called church hopping. It actually avoids people from moving unreasonably from one church to another. Because they know, even if I move from this church, going to the church next door, they will be able to establish that I am in the church next door. And the church next door will be able to establish that I'm from the church next door. And they will be able to file questions of why are you moving from one church to another. And you would actually need to have a very good reason why you move from one church to another. So church hopping is a very, very, very big cancer in the Christian community. It is something that is very, very common. It's something that is very usual, and I'm sure you would have seen it in your locality wherever you are, where people move from one church to another purely because of lack of commitment. But we know that pastors' forums are able to stabilize that by preventing church hopping in a way, because Christians then become very cautious of why am I moving from one church to another. They cannot just move willy-nilly. They will move because there's a reason for them to move. And that's very important. Now, church forums provide strong moral voice as well in the community. Because when you are one and united, you believe in the same thing. And of course, what happens is you have a moral value. And that moral value becomes a voice in the community. Because then the community would know that all pastors in this community, they are one. They are united. And when one says something, the rest will actually agree with that particular pastor. And that becomes a voice in the community. And this is very important, and we lack that. And I must emphasize this as in communities, in countries, and so on, the church has actually had a very silent voice. The voice of the church is not actually audible enough anymore. And the reason is because of lack of unity amongst the pastors or the Christians who are leaders of the church themselves. But immediately they become united in a community, the voice then becomes sound, and everybody can listen to the voice of the church. Pastors' forums have ability to stop emergence of foreign altars as well. Strange doctrines in the community, because everyone who comes in the community should be accountable, should be able to be questioned, should be able to answer some questions, because if you arrive in a community that you've never been, they will interview you, they will find out why are you there, they'll find out why are you actually establishing a church in that community, and you will have to answer some questions, and that will help actually in preventing this emergence of evil altars, false prophets, false teachers as well, that are emerging, especially in the days that we're living in. I want to end up here today, your host, Micornus Phokane, the leader and the founder of Church Governance Solutions. I hope that you learned quite a bit out of this, and you will take it up and learn even more. Remember our YouTube channel, subscribe to it under Micornus Phokane and Young Men Empowerment Forum. So please also click notification button so that every single video that we post, you will be able to learn from it. Don't forget our TikTok account as well, Micornus Phokane, and don't forget our Facebook page, Micornus Phokane, and Church Governance Solutions as well. May you please like those pages and make sure that you follow us and click notification buttons as well, and the good Lord will bless you as you do that. I want to check out right here and say, allow me to say bye for now, and God bless you. See you tomorrow once more. Cheers.